Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Tempo League. Today we're talking about the Moeller whip stroke. Okay, so here's what we want to get to. Right? Whoa. Nice and floppy, and you're whipping it. So what do we even use this for, first of all? Well, the Moeller whip, I find myself using it all the time when playing grooves, like halftime grooves, and the hi-hat's doing like a chicka, 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 chicka. Let me just demonstrate it. Right? It's great for that. When you need to like pop out an accent. So we'll go back to the quiet pad, but if you're doing like a okay, I use Moeller for that. So what Moeller is, if you think back to the free stroke, we started with our stick beads up. That's where the stick beads started. With Moeller, the last thing up is the stick bead, okay? So with Moeller, we start pulling up the stick, and the back of the stick starts coming up, okay? And then we whip our wrist back. You see that? The wrist is actually kind of dead. You don't want to, I want to be careful here because you're not taking your wrist and doing anything with the wrist, really. The wrist is just floppy. You whip it from back here, from your arm. It's like you're throwing your wrist, okay? And the stick is just an extension of that. But the bead comes up last, bam, throw it. Okay, and then when you the thing with Moeller too is you start stringing these together, and you do that first hit, and then when you go to prep for the next one, there's a tap that happens. So like, whoops. Bam, 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 bam. Do you see that? And that's what translates when you start playing fast into digga, 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 digga. Digga, 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 digga. I will say, I usually play with first finger fulcrum, right here, but with Moeller, it's just so floppy and loose that I'm on to my second finger, and I'm just like barely hanging on to the stick between the thumb and the second finger, and it's just so floppy. You're barely like controlling the stick to do what you want it to do. We gotta practice with the left as well. But yeah. Boom. First thing, it bounces all the way up. Bam. And then you start to prep again. And that's where there's that tap. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Hopefully that's making sense. The most important thing is that you just stay nice and floppy. That stick is going to be bouncing all over the place, and you'll start to feel how to control that. Bam. Okay. The exercise, 110 BPM, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to play it on eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You know, that might be actually a little fast. You don't want to go too slow with Moeller, but let's try it at 90. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 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 3 and 4 and 1. One bar each. I've been doing 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so let me talk about a couple things. When we're doing this exercise, make sure the stick bead of the stick that is not playing is down on the pad. I wasn't really doing that just there because I was figuring things out, but you've got the stick bead down and you're playing And when it's time, remember, the stick beat is the last thing up. Don't come up like this and then start playing. It should be the very last thing up. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Bam, right? That whip. Okay? So again, I'll show you when you're playing grooves, you'll see where that comes in now. See how it's just all coming from the wrist or the floppy wrist. I'm not using my wrist, but I'm just flopping it around, throwing it from back here. Right? Not, wrist is floppy, dead, not doing anything. Okay? Okay? Moeller all day long, man. It's awesome. And we don't need to overcomplicate it. I know there's things you'll see online where, come here, you go out and up and then back down and stuff, and you can do that, but I didn't learn that way. I just learned the stick bead coming up last, and you're going dead fish, you're going limp with your wrist. I don't know if dead fish is a thing, but you're going limp with your wrist and throwing that stick. That's really what I've got. Do that practice. We could even do a little more now. So 90, let's go back to 90. Together, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, you're in like constant motion with Moeller. It's just let the stick keep going. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and your arm is just kind of directing those motions, but only just directing. You're mostly letting the stick just fly, and your arm is kind of just adding a bit of structure to it, but it's just flopping around. That's Moeller. Take that, work on it, and if you have any trouble with this, make sure to go back to the beginning. Work on the free stroke. Work your way up through singles and using your fingers and stopping the stick. All of these hand motions play on one another. And the beauty is you can go back and watch these videos anytime you want. You can continue to work on your hands, redo your hands, and you'll just be so much happier as you play drums. You'll have so much more fun. Put in the effort and you'll just have such a great time. Thank you for checking this out. This is Barrett with Tempo League. I really appreciate you and I hope you have a great week. We'll see you next time.